Yana,
Well,
but I don't know
learned a
that.
lesson.
It was Yana and Elise.
To be fair, though, Wit, at least to Yana's group, was kind of a douche. He was being a douche in that episode, and Yana was at his wit's end. So
was Wit.
Unintended.
Wit was also
Yeah.
at Wit's end. So
Well, Nalisian was over it from the start. I had to, as a player, say, okay, I guess I gotta play along now.
no,
'Cause
you keep
Nalisian's
saying
not-
that. You're the one. No. You're the one character that I will double down on. Should have been more invested than anyone. You're the only one that got a token of why to trust Wit. You're the only one.
Raise
What
your
token?
hand if
A
You
leaf.
got the leaf
A little
from your
leaf?
forest.
Raise your hand if you got the answers that you wanted to from Wit.
I'm kidding. I'm
That
kidding.
man
You guys
deserves
can all.
to
You
be
guys can all be
sludged.
upset.
actually,
You-
I did. Yana was like, "How useful can this character be?" And he got his answer, "Not very." Yeah.
Okay, I am recording. We are live. Corbin's recording. Does everybody sound okay? Is there anybody that doesn't sound okay to somebody?
no, I think this is good.
Okay.
Dog.
Does everyone have all of their
Zog like a
exteriors
Pokemon.
muted? Do you have your Roll20s muted? Your D&D Beyond muted?
Oh.
Your Game Awards muted?
Oh,
Ouch.
dang.
I need to
Wow.
get-
Call them out. Dang.
I'm rewatching it tonight. Damn it.
On repeat.
Yeah, I
it's
watch
just-
it every day.
It's just the Chris Judge acceptance speech is just still going.
Yeah, still.
It's still going.
I
Okay.
can't stop it. What am I supposed to do? Not watch it?
The music is at full blast. He's now screaming.
He's hugging Al Pacino.
Okay.
All right. well,
Right.
Guess I'll do a
Who
quick
would?
intro for the podcast and then we can start.
Perfect.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Nerdy 20, a D&D podcast brought to you by the Nerdosphere. Take it away, Jesse.
How's everyone doing tonight?
Doing great.
Good.
Doing great.
I'm
Nice.
fucking freezing my limbs off. It's negative 20 degrees here in St. Louis, Missouri.
Yes. Wind chill.
dang.
It's not actually negative. It's wind
That's what it
chill.
feels like, Clayton. All right. When I have to walk the dogs, that's what it feels like.
Oh yeah, no, I was standing outside, same thing with the dogs, and I was like, hate my life right now.
Yeah. Like,
But
Are your
I
dogs
like it.
like, are they ready to come back in when
Oh, yeah.
you're done? See, my Great Pyrenees is like, I'm not going back inside. What do you mean? He runs around.
yeah,
and
mine
frolics,
get
and
out.
I say, stop it.
mine,
There's
Mine
snow
get
on the
out-
ground. Daisy acts like she doesn't know where the grass is. It's like I don't know where to go.
That's the exact same way I am.
You just have to
Nice.
really, you really have to go, and you're like, oh man, the grass disappeared.
I'd really prefer not to go outside. It throws me for a loop.
She's used to eating yellow snow, but not creating it, so it's fine. Um, but anyways, so welcome back. I am excited to play this session to kind of give you guys a little bit of a background on it, because while you guys, anybody listening, will recognize our main characters that have been playing, I've actually kind of curated a little bit of a holiday-esque style encounter to celebrate the holidays. So it'll be a slightly shorter session than normal because we have some holiday plans that people need to get to, so work-related stuff, all of that. But I would be interested in somebody giving us a brief recap as to what happened last session.
I feel
Yeah,
like you were
so-
made for this, Corbin.
Last session, we got some answers as to what was going on in the home. Wit lured us into the home under false pretenses because he's a manipulative little bitch. And Yana was hanging upside down. The group finally met, mostly because Michelle was not with us at the time. She was flickering in and out of, I guess, the dream realm, it would seem. We met a character named Odium, who seems to be at this juncture at least a big bad to be perceived. Zog may or may not have written his name in the contract to have a Sprin. If he did not, then he's going to be battling Evil Sprin for the battle of his soul. We all have new Sprins that we have not introduced ourselves to yet. Wit is now a puddle. And Cal has Wit's Sprin. The episode ended with us hearing Michelle's character. Is it Dusk? Even Molly was getting confused last episode.
I only got it confused one time.
Yes, my character's name is Dusk.
Okay, I think it'll be easier now that we're playing with you instead of it being this just like ethereal name out in the distance. But we heard Dusk's scream as well as the overwhelming scent of taffy, and a door opened up, and that's where the episode ended. A couple of minor details. Yana did make contact with Rolo. That conversation will be heard in the episode. And so this episode will pick up with Yana returning the cloak back to Dawn.
Did you get to talk to your friend?
I did. Thank you. Yana would wipe some tears out of his face and just thank Dawn for allowing him to use the cloak for a moment.
Did he bully you? Why are you crying?
I don't want to talk about it right now. It's okay.
Well, at least you're right side up now.
That's true. No more hanging 10.
Don't know what that means.
I don't either.
I want to do that.
Jesse, where are we right now?
So you guys, your character is no longer where she was at. Your character is back in essentially a replica of the village you came from, with different festive lighting and atmosphere. So I can't, unfortunately, with Roll20, I don't think I can split out what character sees what, so I can't show you exactly what you see yet. The rest of the players are still back in the chamber where they were at when they were discussing with Odium and Wit, and where they were able to get to Yana. The door is opened in that area. Your character has been teleported out of there. You're back in like I said, back in the village that you had come from, but it's a completely different timeline than what you remembered. It is winter now. Very festive, lights hanging everywhere. The rest of you guys are still in this little like temple area here, where you guys had the conversation, and the door's open. So I just kind of need to know what everyone is wanting to do. I don't know if we need to wait for Keith to come back because I don't see him in our
could I ask a conversation before he comes back?
Yeah.
So last time that the session ended, I thought that we saw where Michelle was, like, got swarmed by a bunch of Sprin or something like that. And then what happened? Like, did they all just disappear or?
Yeah, so you saw them disappear. That is when you also heard Dusk give a little bit of a yell. You no longer see her flickering character hanging upside down. Dusk, like I said, knows that she is back on solid ground, standing in a village that she seems to recognize, but it's a different time in that village than when she had first entered the house. You guys are still there with that door that is opened with the sweet, sickly scent of that taffy wafting through it. And that is kind of where we have left the adventurers. So I just need to know what each of you are doing.
I would say,
Well, go ahead, Michelle.
while the bigger group is like conversing, like I'm obviously separated from my sister and on solid ground, like you said. And so Dusk is literally running around, like asking about her sister, like going up to random strangers, grabbing them, and just be like, have you seen someone that looks exactly like me? Where have you? I don't know what's happening. Like, what's happening? She's just freaking out. And that's what's happening to her. And she's like running around trying to find Dawn.
Perfect.
I want to go over Oh, unless you're responding, Jesse.
No. I was just going to leave that as is. We can get to that conversation if it is relevant after you guys decide what you're doing, since it's kind of happening simultaneously. We'll assume that that's happening with Dusk in the area that she's at. You guys are still back where you're at. So just whatever you guys are looking to do where you're at, laid the scenario for you and you guys get a pick.
I want to go over to Cal and say,
Mr. Wizard, I have been working on my breathing exercises and I am doing pretty okay right now, but I am letting you know that if we do not find my sister soon, I am going to be losing my shit.
Oh my. Well, speaking of breathing exercises, I'm smelling that sweet taffy. Do you smell that? Do you smell the taffy?
Yes, but I'm not very hungry right now.
But it's very alluring, I must say. Well, you see, my little spring friend here, and he pulls out Sylphrena, which is her name again, and says, I think she knows that we must follow our nose, she says.
Well, at
Why
least
not?
one of you knows you have to follow your nose. I would suggest getting through that door, please.
With
I want
the
to talk to
overwhelming
my-
Did you ask Hoyd?
with the overwhelming smell of taffy, Yana's gonna gag as it brings up recent memory.
Hoyd turned into a slime, but he can hear you. He's right there.
I want to talk to my Sprin real quick and say,
Tim, do you think that it is safe to follow that smell of candy, of sweet, sweet candy?
When you reach out to your Sprin, you feel like it's attempting to communicate with you, but you're not quite picking up what it's putting down yet. So like you can tell that it's trying to give you an answer, but the communication gap has not been bridged yet. So you get like gestures and almost like a sense of frustration that it can't get across what it wants to get across to you, but that's all you get from your Sprin.
Okay, we'll talk about this later.
and she puts it on her shoulder.
I don't know, guys. What do you think? I say we follow Mr. Wizard and we go and find the candy. If nothing else, at least we get a snack.
I agree
So
with that.
I think I missed it. I was coming back in. So there's a new door with candy smell coming through.
Yeah. So what happened at the end of the last session was Michelle's character kind of let out a yelp as she got teleported from where she was at. So Dusk got teleported out. You guys were kind of seeing like a translucent version of her anyways. When that happened, simultaneously, a door opened up next to you guys with that same black, milky, like glossy look to it that the door had entering the house. And all you're getting through the door is like that the sickly sweet scent of the taffy that you recognized from the last time before you entered through another door type scenario.
We probably have to tell that guy too that his friend is dead and now a puddle.
Yana's gonna look down at his Sprin and just if I don't carry you, are you just gonna follow me? What do you do?
It kind of like looks at you and shrugs its shoulders, and you can get that same feeling without knowing it's the exact same feeling that Dawn got. You're getting that same feeling where it's attempting to contact you or have conversation with you, but you don't quite know exactly what it's trying to portray, other than when you say, what do you do? It kind of like teleports to the ground in front of you a couple feet away and then teleports right back to you to show that like your movement, it's not tied to your movement, essentially, is what it's trying to convey with that.
Okay. Yana will he'll bend down to kind of pick it up, kind of like an awkward uncle. And you just be like, well, at least you're quiet. I can't really handle anything else yelling at me on a daily basis. And then he'll just carry it like a bag of like a couple books against his chest.
So
Something.
Zog-
Oh, sorry. We'll let you take over in just a second. I wanted to give you guys a visual cue. Just in case your characters would react, you guys cannot see each other's Sprin.
Oh.
So you like visually see Yana like pick up this thing and like hold it in front of him, and it's empty air. And then he's like cradling something like books in front of him that doesn't make any sense to you. And same with Dawn, when she was talking to hers, she's like kind of like looking at her shoulder, having a conversation, and you only hear her side of the conversation. So that's just across the board for everyone right now. The only Sprin that you've seen would have been Cal's Sprin when she was with Wit. Once she transitioned to Cal, the visuals of her disappeared to where only Cal can see her unless she chooses to reveal herself to anyone else.
I have a quick question. Does Dusk have a Sprin right now following her around?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure.
And then Zog, you were getting ready to say something. I didn't mean to cut you off. I just felt like it had relevance to the situation going on, that you kind of looked around and you saw people acting weird.
Right. Thank you for the correction. I will. So Zog looks down and sees his Sprin that hasn't taken a distinct form yet.
For the sake of that, we're going to, since you've brought up the blob version of Wit right now, it's taken on the blob version of Wit, where it's still like moving around with you, but that's what it visually looks like right now, because it's heard you talk about it a couple of times.
That's pretty good. Hey, are you like some kind of like fairy thing?
It sits there and kind of like stands up and starts shaping like a snowman-esque shape. For lack of a better term, and it kind of starts like swaying side to side where you feel like it's also attempting to talk to you, but that's all you're getting from it. It's just like blob has kind of like elongated off the ground, and it's kind of like swaying with you where you think it's trying to communicate, you're just not sure what. But it did respond to you talking to it.
Okay. I guess I'll like try to scoop it up.
Cool. Yep, you pick it. Like sound effects. Nice. All right. So all of that is happened in the same time period in which Dusk is running around bothering everyone in this village trying to find her sister. So just kind of need to know, do you guys need me to hop back to what Dusk is doing, have conversations? Do you guys, I kind of more so looking for what the main group is wanting to do currently.
All right.
Nelisian will simply just start walking towards the door.
Okay.
Bug follows.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cal stands in front of the door and also practices his breathing exercises, breathing in the sweet smell of the taffy as he rustles his mustache and happily enters the door.
That's weird.
As we're walking too, I'm gonna pull out my lyre and just start playing on it to generate a sound and hopefully draw Dusk in. Jesse,
sorry. Who has moved through the door at this point?
I suppose Nelisian would have.
Behind Nelisian.
Cool. All right. So as you go through the door, we can adjust if somebody isn't going through the door, but this is what you guys see when you go through the door. Is a very similar situation or village to what you guys remember before you went into the house. It is definitely set up for like a winter festivus type scenario. Dusk is kind of wandering over here out of eyesight. Anybody that has come through the door is appearing in this location right here. You guys should still have control of your guys' characters. If not, I can adjust, but everyone should still have control over their character.
I do not have control over my character.
Perfect.
And it will be the last one to show up through the door, and he'll just be kind of out of breath and be like, you know, Nelisian, for once, it'd be nice if you told me you were walking.
I want to push past Nelisian and start like jogging throughout the town.
Okay.
While playing the lyre still. And just going, Dusk, has anybody seen somebody that looks just like me?
Do I hear her lyre?
Give me a perception check. And give me a performance check there, Dawn.
21.
Okay.
Where the heck is my perception? 21.
Perfect. You do start to recognize a tune getting a little bit closer to you. It's one that's familiar to you. You're not sure exactly what direction it's coming from because there's other music emanating from different areas as well, but you kind of start to pick up on notes from something that does sound familiar to you.
Okay. I think that Dusk finally found out that there's like some fairy creature following her around. And so like she's like in the middle of like picking up, interrogating this jackalope. And she's like, what are you? What the fuck are you? Where'd you come from? Why are you following me? And just like, and then she just like kind of hears the lyre and she turns around and like just starts to follow it.
Perfect. Okay. So as you're making that direction, you guys are kind of converging on each other. What's the rest of the group doing?
I think
So just
Elysian would turn to Zog if they come out and say, it definitely wasn't snowing when we went down there.
we must have traveled through like the Fey lands. That kind of thing happens all the time. It's time is a little wobbly.
Are you an expert on the Fae?
Yeah, well, it's where my people are from there, but I've never been there.
Yeah, I was gonna look around, and I am so tired of going through doorways that lead to somewhere I've never been. But he's gonna walk up to Nelician, still holding his sprint and kind of scratching its head at this point, and kind of shove Nelician and be like, "Do you have one of these?
One of what?
One of these? Look, this guy, right here. I'll hold
The air.
That's rude."
I think he means this, and I'll do the same, like the same thing.
Yes, I do. And I'll just hold my hand out.
Yeah, I'll look at Zog. Why are you mocking me?
No, mine's a little weird. It's sorry, that's not going to be great for the audio version. I motioned with my hands like blob.
Oh man.
So you have one of these, Zog?
I think so.
Well, I mean, you think so. Either
I
do or
don't-
you don't. I don't see it. Where is it at?
I don't see yours.
What? I'm gonna look over at Cal. Cal, where did the puddles spren go?
Oh, I've taken her on as my own, actually. I suppose
do
I
that a
didn't
lot.
get a new fairy friend, so I've already made good acquaintances with this one. And I don't believe you had, as I believe you somewhat murdered her owner. I mean, some would say that, and I might as well, but
I think murder is a little harsh. I think accidental involuntary wit slaughter might be the legal term.
I suppose it is sketchy as how could you perhaps murder someone by ripping a parchment?
You know, he could have said like, "Don't touch that. I'm gonna melt."
That's true.
Something.
And let's not forget, Elysian gave it to me. So you know what? If anyone's fault is, it's be his fault.
Do not bring me into this.
I do suppose he was not very earning of trust, so why is he so quick to trust the likes of you?
Hey, where did
Those were a lot of words.
purple lady go? She just ran off playing the instrument.
Oh, wait a second. I have an idea, actually. I suppose no other use for this, but I pull out my communication cloak.
Perfect.
Oh, is this a
perhaps-
group rate? Why do you all have one?
Perhaps I could have found our friend much sooner than I suppose. I do become silly in my old age. And I'm going to use my communication cloak to communicate with Dusk.
Okay. So you open communication. What are you saying?
Excuse me, little Dusk. Are you out there?
I can wait. Are you trying to contact Dusk or Dawn?
Dusk.
Okay.
I know where Dawn is.
Okay. Can I respond? I forgot. Sorry.
Yeah. Yes.
Mr. Wizard, is that you?
Oh yes.
I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to find Dawn. Where is she? Is she with you? I
assure
can
you.
hear her lyre.
We barely know anything ourselves. It's all right.
Wait, are you still in that room?
No, actually, we are. In fact, where are we? Can I roll a perception check of like just what would I describe around?
Well, the dungeon daddy left, so
Yes, you can. Sorry, I had gotten up to close the door for a second. But yes,
Dungeon
you can.
daddy.
Dungeon Dad.
Yeah, that's
okay,
that's
Dungeon
Jesse.
Dad?
He's the dungeon daddy.
We have to ask Jesse something. You have to say, "Daddy."
oh dear God.
Please don't do that.
Daddy.
I got a
Daddy.
Can I pretty
20.
please do a perception check, dungeon daddy?
Your characters are all going to die extremely fast if this carries on.
Don't hurt me, Daddy.
Oh, in my old age, I never felt so youthful looking into your deep brown eyes, dungeon daddy.
Don't break my hip.
My safe word is Daisy.
Dear God.
Please keep that in.
Oh, honey,
Right. Yeah, this all needs to make it into the episode, I think.
100%.
Oh man. Yes. Long story short, yes, you can give unless there's anything in particular you want to call out. Like if you're looking for a particular landmark, I would ask you to roll a perception to see if it's there. If not, you can just describe your surroundings. You don't need a perception for that. You're just describing it at face value at that point. So it's up to you.
Okay. That's what I figure. I describe my surroundings at face value.
Yeah. So
how descriptive.
So what you are describing, I realized I kind of set you up for failure on that one. So what you're describing as you're talking about this village is you're describing an extremely festive looking village. You guys are familiar with this type of decor. You've seen it across the world. It's kind of that year-end festival vibe, a lot of hanging lights. A lot of snow everywhere. There's people that are just generally happy kind of walking around, a bunch of different like festive shops, a couple of different food stalls. You can tell that each individual shop kind of that you can see around has kind of tried to holiday-esque their little area. It just feels like you're kind of walking through like an old-timey Christmas town is kind of what you're seeing.
So this is like, it's very similar to where we first started, or like the same type of area, but just like it's all different all of a sudden. New festivities.
Yeah. So it's virtually everything that you have seen is just festive instead of. So it appears to be the town of Lockwood still. It's just a different time period than when you guys had gone in, but everything looks similar. It looks a little bit different because it's a different time of year, different festival type mentality, but overall, you recognize the landmarks of Lockwood.
Excellent. So it appears we've time traveled.
I mean, that's
Or
this town really loves their festivals.
One every day. Can't wait for tomorrow.
Yeah. So you are aware that it is a different time period. You are not sure if you time traveled. You're not really sure what's going on. Anybody that is familiar with the Fey world would have a rough idea that Zog is probably correct. But it kind of has this left up for interpretation depending on what knowledge your characters would have. So yeah, that's kind of where you're at right now. So we can jump back to the conversation that happened is happening between Cal and Dusk, which was Cal describes the layout of the town. And that's kind of where the conversation ends. Or not ends, but like that's the next breaking point where you guys can take it away.
I'm going to continue walking down just through the vendors into the cloak, continually describing my environments as I walk through.
What side, what direction are you going? Are you going over this direction or are you going over this way? Okay.
Yeah, because I saw Dawn go the other way, so I'm just splitting up, covering more ground.
Cool.
I'm going to respond. I don't know how many words I get, but she has no idea. She's just gonna keep talking. She's gonna be like, okay, well, we're in front of I'm in front of, sorry, I said weird because there's this like bunny thing following me around and I thought it was just a dream and I'm so confused. But it looked like the town that we were in, but it's not Halloween anymore. It's like snowing and I don't know, but I'm in front of the tavern where we were drinking.
Okay, so you hear all of that up to seems like the town we were in, and that's kind of where communication stops for you, Cal. So it kind of abruptly stops. Dusk, you would have kept going with what you were saying. You don't know that the conversation has ended, but you're not getting a response any longer.
Dawn, I think this is like around where we got the chicken legs last time, where my character is currently. So if I can, I want to see the guy possibly, or are the same vendors there that were in the Hollows Festival at all?
You don't recognize any of the food vendors as being the same. You do recognize the tavern front though. So you recognize the entrance to the tavern, this building here on the eastern side of the map. You see, so you're used to, or you recognize that, and you recognize the landscape here. It's just the vendors aren't the same.
Okay, I want to go into the tavern. And find the bartender there.
Okay.
And say, hello, I don't mean to be rude, but I just have a lot of questions right now. And I'm kind of confused. It's like a lot colder than I remember. And I don't know, I might just have a cold. I'm not really sure. But I'm very, very, I don't know, I'm very frantic. And I'm just looking for somebody that looks exactly like me, but she also has braids. And then she also might be like a ghost, but I don't know. I'm looking for her right now and I can't really find her at all. And if you have seen anybody that looks like me but has braids and is maybe a ghost, could you please let me know?
The bartender slowly stopped polishing his glass that he had in his hand. Like as you were talking, it slowed down. And he looks at you for a second and is like, what are you talking about? It's not gotten cold overnight. Did you sleep for 3 months?
No. But that, I mean, that is like the least important thing on my plate right now. I'm talking about my ghost sister. Have you seen her or not?
A ghost. So not only it's so hold on. You don't recognize cold and you're seeing ghosts. Is that
Well,
what I'm
it's
gathering?
actually, well, it's a little bit more complicated than that, actually. She might be a ghost or she might not be. I don't really know. It's very confusing. We're trying to figure it out, but it is like a little bit complicated. And I don't know how to explain it to you really, because I don't even know what's going on myself. But I don't know. Have you seen anybody that looks like me?
So as you're like rambling, he has turned with that polished glass and is now like pouring some mead out of a keg. And he looks at it and goes, this one's on the house. You seem to need a lot of help I can't offer. This is the help I can offer. Just take it and leave me alone, please.
That is, that's not the answer I was hoping for, but it is the best one considering the situation. And I take it and I go and try to look around the tavern and ask similar questions to everybody around.
Perfect. Okay, so while that's going on, we have Molly's character, or we have Dawn in the tavern. We have Cal wandering around the outskirts on the other side. What are the group of you three doing? Nelisian, Zog, and Yana.
So do we need to find them?
Find who?
They just all
The
just
other
ran
three
off.
that just stumbled into our lives? Why are
No,
we go why
I
are we
just
go
meant
find
the
them?
two. We haven't really met the.
No, yeah, you're right. The other two that just stumbled into our lives? Why are we
They
go
just-
find them? I am going to go get a drink. And I'll slap Zog on the shoulder and walk towards the tavern.
Yana will say, how is he becoming the best friend? I'm going to get a drink too.
Oh,
As I slap Zog on the shoulder and start following Elysian.
you're
I
coming as
like
well.
that bar. That's where I met George.
Okay, so you guys are all making your way.
What happened to George?
No, he's here.
Oh,
Oh, watch out, George. You probably owe a pretty big tab there.
We don't need to talk about that.
I don't think.
Yeah,
you're
wait a minute.
George
What are you gonna
anymore.
do? I mean, I get that you're not really George. I just like George, but like the tavern keeper knew you as George, and he knows George owes some drinks. So if he sees you, he's gonna be like, hey, George, where's my money?
Yana is going to take Zog's hands and say, this is what we're going to do, Zog. And he's going to take Zog's hands and put it in his satchel and bring out the box. And then using Zog's hand to hold the box, I'm going to tiptoe my fingers across it seductively. And I said, we're going to just have to put my coins in this box to duplicate it until the tab is paid due, if we have to. But that's worst case scenario. Chances are they've forgotten.
Speaking of the box, I meant to ask Jesse, did if we look at the coins that we made last time, do they look different from the real coins?
So I would, I guess, need on. So let me. They look close enough to you, but you're not a money lender, so you don't know for sure. But at face value, it looks pretty close. Like you hold it up and you're like, oh, yeah, like it checks out. It checks a lot of boxes. You obviously, you don't have any scales or anything there to test the weight. But the actual coin itself at face value looks very similar to coins that you're used to seeing in Tezra. And then something to note, I created this is kind of like a sidebar for players, not characters. Clayton and I recently, I listed my campaign on D&D Beyond. People can join said campaign. Clayton has been kind enough to start adding items into the circulation there. So you can actually, items that you know how they, or have used or know how they use. I have like descriptions and their limitations posted there now. So I don't know if you have a handy. Yeah.
And
link is in the Discord.
Yep.
Perfect.
Click on it. If you use D&D Beyond, just click on it. And then it'll ask you if you want to join with the current character. So if you have one already created, you can just click that character. And then when you go to search for equipment or items, it'll be in there. Your cloaks are in there. Your boxes in there.
So the stipulations, just keep in mind, there are things that, because of the way that we're doing the item discovery on how you guys know, like you don't know the exact ins and outs at all times. There are going to be things that will probably be slight subject to change from the first time you guys maybe use something to when you actually learn the actual written description of everything, where there might vary just a little bit. There might have been a little detail left out here or there, but it should give you stipulations. And we can adjust, because I realized the cloaks, I think it has it written that you can ask a certain number of questions. It needs to be phrased differently, because most of the time in communication, it's not question-based communication at all times. So I have to come up with different stipulations for some of that, but it gives you the gist of what the items are. And then as you discover more items that you guys have that you don't know the value or the intricacies of, they will get added to this as you guys discover them as well. So from there, I need Dusk and Dawn to both roll me a perception check, assuming that your character is roughly right around here, Dusk, and yours is still in the tavern. If you guys both want to roll me a perception check, that'd be great.
I got a 3.
Oh, okay.
Wait, hang on. I just need to find my modifier.
Meanwhile, can I
a
start
dirty
walking
20.
towards the tavern?
Yeah.
Because I've heard her describe it.
Yes, you can. So you can go the long way, or you can go around with the main group as well, kind of whatever you are wanting to do. Perfect. When you get to this area, will you roll me a perception check?
Oh, yes. 20.
Okay.
Unnatural 20.
Perfect. And then you said you got a 3, Dusk. Was that correct?
Yep.
Okay. And then Dawn, what did you get?
A dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay. So you don't see anything, Dusk. But Dawn, you look around and you see some, for lack of a better term, you see a wall of shame in the tavern, and Yana's face is plastered in 3 different spots with the name George under it.
Oh no.
Inside the tavern. So you see that. Dusk, you haven't seen anything. With your roll, Cal, you see a little bit of commotion happening in this shop here. You're not quite sure what. You hear a couple of things banging around. You hear kind of like a little muffled yelp, but you don't really see much. That's just kind of what you hear as you're passing this shop down here.
I want to go over to the wall of shame and just down the rest of my mead while looking at all 3 of them, and then go over to the bartender and say,
Excuse me. I am so sorry for my outburst earlier. It's very embarrassing, but I just need to know, who is that George man on the wall over there?
Yeah, that idiot came in, caused a ruckus, left a gigantic tab, and we have not found him roughly about 2.5, maybe 3 months ago. So if you know where he is, I would be very, very happy to talk to him. And so would a couple of other people that I know.
Yeah, he sounds like a dirty scoundrel. If I ever see him, I will be sure to lead him your way or call the proper authorities. But I'll just leave your establishment for now. I'm so sorry for bothering you.
And she's gonna head outside.
While you're saying that, I would like you to roll me I don't think it is a bluff check in this one.
Bluff is deception.
Deception. There you go. I was like, I know it's not bluff, and I was like drawing a blank on what it rolls. Roll me a deception, please.
That is a 10.
Okay.
Come on. 10 is a succeed on easy stuff. Come on.
He kind of like raises an eyebrow at you while you're monologuing again to yourself, it feels like, and he is like, if you say so, and kind of like goes back to polishing his next glass as well, where he didn't quite pick up that you were bluffing, but he doesn't completely trust what you're saying, but he's too concerned with other things to really care.
Okay, I'm just gonna leave as slyly as I can, pretty much.
Perfect.
Just inching my way out, smiling at the bartender the whole way until I get to the door.
Perfect. All right, so you get outside, at which point I need both Dusk and Dawn to roll 1 more perception, and assuming that the larger group, and by larger I mean Elysian, Zog, and Yana, you guys are still making your way towards the tavern, right?
Yes, indeed.
Okay, cool. So you guys are all kind of converging in this little area. I need all 3 of you guys to roll mere perception. It's pretty crowded. This is just to kind of see what you guys are aware of surrounding wise. And then while you guys are doing that, Cal, what are you doing with the knowledge that you have from your perception roll in tandem with you were making your way towards the tavern?
Cal is standing there very confused and grumbling as he's all at once reminiscing the smell of taffy, looking for Dusk, and then hearing disturbances inside of the tent there. Very cautiously, Cal's going to lean over and peek over at the ruckus that he had heard.
All right. So as you are kind of peering around this way, the shop front is down here. So the shop, for any of those that are not watching, the shop is located on the southern end of the map. A lot of the party is positioned on the eastern side of the map near the tavern. So just down below, a little bit southwest, is where Cal's character is. Peering in through kind of a slightly fogged window, similar to what you see where people look like they've kind of put some fake fog or snow along the borders of the windows to kind of embody the feel of Christmas or the holidays a little bit more. And that's kind of what Cal is seeing. and you're seeing some dark shapes move around in said building. Kyle, you can't really make out what. You can't really match 2 and 2 together with what you've heard versus what you're seeing yet, but you do see some things moving around in said shop, and it is dark inside. So, and then I guess give me everyone's perception checks that I just asked for as you're like converging on each other.
12.
19.
18.
I rolled a dirty 20.
Perfect.
Got a 7.
Okay, so at this point, Dusk, you see a glimpse of what you're pretty sure is your sister leaving the tavern. The other group has seen Dusk standing there, and you guys see her, having not seen her really outside of her kind of like astral form that you guys were projecting. You think that is the same person that you saw kind of in the astral form when the lanterns were being hung up around her. You have not seen Dawn yet, but you do recognize Dusk as somebody that you think you've seen before. You're not positive because it's kind of like you're looking through like a fogged window when you saw her type thing. So, but you're pretty positive that is who was hanging upside down in that like temple area with you guys.
Oh, look.
Dusk. Oh,
There's-
sorry. Go ahead.
There's Dawn.
Oh, Dawn. Hey, Dawn, over here.
Can I hear them?
Do I hear them?
You both hear them. They're close enough and they're yelling loud enough that you're picking up what they're saying. Yes.
I want to run over to Yana as fast as I can.
Okay.
And I'm running after, since I've seen Dawn, I'm running after her, like shoving people aside. I don't care.
And then I want to get up to Yana first and just go like, Yana, there are so many photos of you in the tavern and you are not very, they don't like you. They say you're kind of a bad person. And I think you might get in trouble if you go in there.
Wait, but you're the sister. Hey, how are you? We were trying to save you.
What are you talking about?
Dawn's going to be so happy to see you.
Yeah,
At
she's
this
right over
point-
there. She's
At
good.
this point,
Dusk.
Dusk comes up behind Dawn and just tackles her to the ground.
Oh, Dawn is so
and
happy
just
to see her
just
sister.
clings to her. Oh my
Okay,
god, where were you? What's going on? I thought this was all a game, and then now it's snowing, and I have this like little rabbit with like horns following me around.
And
Are you okay?
She's going to wipe tears from her eyes and go, I thought you were dead for a little bit. And now you're right here in front of me. What the fuck?
I don't know what happened. I just thought that we were playing a game. I thought that like that the Hoyt guy was just like, yeah, go into the spooky house. It's going to be fun, like kind of like a haunted house type of thing. So I never took anything seriously, but I don't even know what's happening right now. Like, why is it snowing? Like, but are you okay? That's the most important. Are you okay? And she's like touching her face.
Yeah, she's touching her face back. It's very strange, actually. But no, I'm okay. I just am so happy that you're okay too. And I didn't notice that it was snowing actually until right now because I was just thinking about finding you. But you're right, it is kind of different, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. And she's gonna stand up and also help Dawn up since she tackled her to the ground. But
Yana's going to wipe some tears from his eyes. This is so beautiful.
right.
I'm so happy you guys found each other.
Dusk, you have to meet our new friends.
Oh.
This is Yana. This one Zigzag, and this one is Neasel.
Ooh, I
Wait.
like those names. Those are really cool. I put my hand out. Okay, it's nice to meet you, Anna. It's nice to meet you, Zigzag. Zigzag. Sorry.
Oh, it's Zog.
I thought we
Yeah.
already met.
Oh, have we? No,
You
I
have
don't
been
think
switched.
so.
Hang on. Yana's going to put his mouth over Dusk's mouth and say, hang on, Don. I don't know what's going on,
Hand,
but
I think you meant to say.
yeah, my hand over Dusk's mouth. I'm gonna say, hang on, Don. You're acting very odd. But your sister Dusk was telling me something about the tavern, and I'm gonna look at Dawn and say, okay, Dusk, what were you saying about the tavern?
Yana, you are being very stupid right now. I am Dawn.
I'm gonna elbow Yana.
That was rude. Oh, you're okay. Well, I'm glad that we found her. We found your sister for you.
Okay, I'm sorry. Who are all of you guys, and what are you doing here?
We rescued your sister.
You rescued her?
Well,
Really?
Indeed.
no, no.
Yes.
But they did help. They helped rescue you. I don't think I was rescued ever.
You were. It's all right.
But
We
Cal
rescued
did.
George.
Some
Yeah.
would say that Yana saved the universe because I got rid of Hoyd.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, he melted.
Yeah,
You got
he
rid of-
is that, but Hoyd is now he is now a puddle.
No, he's not.
Oh, yes, he is.
No, he's not. I
He's
mean,
more
I
like
was
slime.
like hanging upside down, and like he looked up really upset the last time I saw him, but he was not a puddle.
Yeah, he was yelling at a big scary guy with all this confidence, but then Yana came in, that's me, and I had even more confidence, and just being around me made him just melt where he stood. And so I'm actually more intimidating than the scary guy that intimidated Wit.
Zog scratches his head at that.
Wait, so are Wit and Hoyd the same person?
They are the same person, much like you two seem to kind of be.
Oh, interesting. So he has a twin. Wit and Hoyd are twins?
No, they're just very similar. I mean, you guys are very similar, but Hoyd and Wit, they're the same.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. I saw Hoyd and I didn't see you guys. So I'm thinking like we were in a different spot or something. We saw different things, but it just felt kind of like hazy wherever I was. And I don't know. Hoyd seemed fine.
Yeah. No, he was fine. But now he is dead.
Interesting.
And we did it in the name of you.
I
don't really like the sound of that.
It's not true. Yana he has a very good sense of humor, and he just likes to make these funny jokes.
Yana will elbow Nelisian. Someone thinks that I'm funny.
She's the only one.
So is your name is Nasal?
Nelisian.
Oh, Nelisian. It's nice to meet you. And because I didn't shake his hand, I'll shake Nelisian's hand.
You told me your name was Nasal.
No.
Wait
No.
a second. Wait a second. And she points at Zog. She's like, wait, I recognize you. I petted your arm. You're very soft.
Oh.
And then you
Is
held
that-
like a piece of like bark up to me.
Yeah. That was me. Was that at the bar?
No, it was outside of the sushi place.
Oh, the fish man. Yeah, that was me.
Oh, well, it's nice to formally meet you.
Hi.
So
Where is
Wha-
Cal? Why is Cal not with you guys?
He started talking to himself and wandered off. So I don't know where he went.
We probably should find him. He was
meanwhile-
looking for you.
Cal is standing in front of that shop still, and he's still holding the cloth, and he's thinking, and a little tear wells up in his eye as he thinks that the young Dusk girl's still all alone, not found her sister yet. But as he's tearing up, he leans into the shop a little bit more, and I like to do an Arcana check to see what the frick is going on.
Okay, so are you looking for magical properties, or are you looking because so if you're looking to try to figure out more, go ahead and roll me an investigation. If you're looking for something magical, go ahead and roll me an Arcana.
Yeah, looking for something magical as it looks very mystical with the shadowy figures you say.
Okay. So Go ahead and roll me the Arcana check then.
Just a 13.
Okay. Give me just a second here. Give me one moment. Okay. So as you are examining it, you're not really picking up much coming from the shop. You can't really pick up a certain type, like there's nothing presenting itself to you in a meaningful way where as you kind of are approaching the window to the shop a little bit more, you're starting to realize a lot of the things that you saw in the window were just shop decorations. So they'd kind of put some fake snow along the ledge. But as you are approaching, are you trying to approach quietly? Are you attempting to hide that you're creeping up? If so, you'd also need to go ahead and roll me a stealth to see what that looks like. Okay.
He's slowly walking up, but he's a bit hesitant as he knows he wants to go find Dusk first, but he's also curious.
Okay.
13.
Okay. Okay. So as you are approaching, you kind of get to the window of the shop that you're looking at. And it's kind of the shop is a little bit weird where the only windows in the shop are kind of like two very tall windows on either side of the door that are taking up about double the length, or not length, double the width of the door itself. Outside of that, there's no traditional big window shop like window that you're used to seeing. And when you get to the window, you see a tiny head pop up, kind of about the height of roughly about a child, kind of pop up, and he looks at you. You don't get a very good look other than you see that he's wearing a green hat. That's about all you see though.
And does it see me?
It does see
Is it
you.
looking at me?
Well, hold on. Let me get back. You said you rolled a 13?
Yeah.
He is aware of movement on the other side of the window. He doesn't necessarily get a good look at you though.
Well, foolish me for thinking it was magic. I look very confused at the boy, or at the little head. And I actually back off and start looking for Dust, so I'm gonna start going back up north.
Okay.
It's just like a little, huh. And then he walks away.
Roll me a perception check while you're walking away.
19.
Okay. You. Okay. Never mind. Okay. You just keep walking.
Okay. I keep walking. He is very confused and he's still thinking about it, but he wants to go find Dust first.
Perfect. Okay. So you're walking back up this direction. And you see, because of the large commotion going on with the party being reunited here in front of the tavern, you find your group of friends.
Oh, so well that you've purple princesses found yourselves. Oh, delightful.
Mr. Wizard. And
Oh,
I
you're
give him a hug.
Oh, I'm just glad to see you safe. Grateful family to be together again, hey? And what a great time for these winter festivities. Why are there winter festivities here?
I don't know.
I look at the group and to the other three. I said, was it winter time by the time you went into the mansion there, or am I just getting old?
That can happen when you're like, you go to one place and then you go to another place through the Feywild, and it's like more time passes than you thought.
Oh my.
So are we older now?
Have we gone into the Feywild?
Well, yeah. I mean,
Yeah, wait, how does that work? I need you to explain it to me. Like,
Well, you don't stop getting older. You're always getting older.
But are we like Christmas time old now, or are we still
Like-
Halloween time old?
yeah.
Oh,
I
it's
don't
whatever
wanna get
you
too
are.
old.
So Halloween time old?
I guess.
So while
What's
all
that?
of this is happening, I need to know where all of your characters are positioned, what direction they're facing, and I need to know where in proximity to the tavern you guys are standing. And then I also need to know what everyone is doing while this conversation is happening. So kind of set the scene for me as to where you guys are at. Because depending on what you guys are looking at, I may need to have some perception checks rolled. So
Well, I'm still standing shoulder to shoulder with Nelisian because
Okay.
last time I did anything of consequence, I elbowed him. So I'm standing shoulder to shoulder with Nelisian, facing Dusk and Dawn.
okay.
And as far as like where Yana's looking, I am scratching my spren still as I just look absolutely lost at whatever Zog just tried to explain.
I think Nelisian would be kind of looking around.
Okay.
Dog is looking for the fish vendor.
Perfect. So as you are looking for the fish vendor, unfortunately you do not see the fish vendor. You don't think that chilled fish would necessarily let me rephrase. Frozen fish would sell very well in the traditional sense where it's a little bit too cold to have raw fish out like sushi style stuff. So you unfortunately don't see him. You see a lot of hot food vendors. Again, warm food, soups, that type of thing, but you don't see the fish vendor, unfortunately. Based on this, if everyone's looking at the map, does it look relatively correct on the direction that you guys would be facing? Assuming that Nelisian, Zog, and Yana are facing kind of looking south, and then the rest of the group is facing them looking north. Is that correct?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So then I need the three facing south, which would be Nelisian, Zog, and Yana. I need you guys all to roll me a perception check, please.
10.
10.
I got a 6. Looking for the fish man.
Whoa. Clayton, I saw your roll.
Yes, because we have joined the campaign on D&D Beyond so that we can access not only our homebrew information, but observe our roles as well.
Oh wow.
So fun.
Not sponsored. It won't let me in. I was trying to fool around with it, but it's not letting me in.
I don't know. I am very unfamiliar with setting up campaigns on D&D Beyond, so there might be something I need to click, but it doesn't make sense considering that both Corbin and Clayton were able to join, but I don't know if that's
I think they already had their characters created on D&D Beyond.
okay. Cool. Yeah, well, we can get to that at another point.
Yeah, it's whatever.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so nothing. You guys don't observe anything with those rolls, so just carry on with your business.
Mr. Wizard, where did you go? Why weren't you with these guys?
Oh, I thought I'd cover more ground, so I split up going south. And speaking of which, I saw a very funny thing. I don't know if it's part of the festivities or not, but there was a child's head, and it looked at me.
Do you think
Child's
it
head.
I beg your
A
pardon?
child's head?
Was
Yeah,
it
that
attached
sounds
to a
very
body?
strange,
Where was
I
the
know.
rest of him?
You're all asking far too many questions.
Is it
I-
rolling around? What's going? Did it say anything?
Was
Put
it
on
the
a
boy
spike.
or was it the girl?
Unclear. I just went away.
Was it one
I-
of the missing children?
You saw a floating head and you walked away?
Did you give it taffy?
No, you all thought about the situation far more than I have. You see, I was just coming to find our friend here, and gosh, I suppose I'm a bit shocked at what I saw myself. Perhaps we should go check it out. That was very perceptive. Perhaps it could be one of the missing children.
It's not.
And I guess we'll just open up with, sorry if you were in peril losing your body. We decided to come back on second thought. How are you?
Ooh, I think that's a really good idea.
I also think it's a really good idea to get away from the tavern right now because, like I said before, they don't like you in there, Yana.
What? Why not?
They don't
Well,
like George.
They had photos of you, but it's not like when families put photos in their houses and it's like a good thing. It was definitely like they don't like you and they need a reminder.
I
So
mean,
they put your photos there.
Are you sure it's a bad thing? I'm used to having taverns put photos up of me all the time, and it's usually like a famous thing, like
Quick-
Yana the Great performed
Quick
at this
clarification:
tavern.
were they photos or drawings?
You still, character knowledge here. You still have the picture in your hand. You're still holding it. You never let go of it.
I have it.
Yeah, you said you grabbed one. I thought you said you grabbed one off the wall and went to go talk to the bartender. Is what I thought you had said.
I thought I just pointed at them.
Oh, okay.
If I said I grabbed one.
For some reason, I thought you'd said you'd grabbed one of the three, but I could have been making that up in my head.
Okay. No,
Okay.
I don't
then
think I did.
Never mind. Then no, you don't have a picture. Go back to it. I'm sorry.
I mean, sometimes it's like, Yana the Great performed at this tavern, and then I sign it, and then they hang it on the wall.
No, and I totally could see that happening with you.
Naturally,
I think that
yes.
happens all the time,
All the time.
everywhere. But this was not it. And I talked to the bartender, and he said that he really did not like you, and a lot of other people did not like you either. And if I ever saw you, I should tell him where you were so that, well, he didn't say what, but that it was a bad implication.
Was there a reward?
Not that I saw.
So pulls out his manacles.
I will tighten my arms. Do not get any bright ideas, Bugbear.
Oh, wait a second. I remember you guys now. You guys were in the tavern and you had him shackled.
Oh, yeah.
I
That
remember.
was shackling one of 3 in the last 24 hours.
Oh,
We're
really?
not gonna make it a 4th.
So you're famous, Yana?
In some parts of the world, I am. I have not quite made a name for myself here yet.
Oh,
Well, you
interesting.
have, just not in the right ways.
Yeah. I guess not. If we have to go back to the bar, though, I have a solution. It'll be okay.
Okay, so maybe we go to this floating child's head first, but then maybe we can go back to the tavern, collect the reward, and you can pay off the bartender.
Yeah,
So
maybe.
as that happens, let me think about this here. So as this is happening, you see it's a little bit too late for you guys to do much on it based upon your guys' perception rolls. But as you guys are talking, a little candy cane hooks around Dusk's leg and yanks really fast and trips her and causes her to fall on her face. And when that happens, you guys turn around just in time to see a little green dressed creature running back this direction.
Is it a child?
Nilesian will pursue.
Okay.
Something's wrong with this town. Everybody's
That's
mean.
the green.
and-
I help up.
That's the head.
Are you okay? Do you need me to heal you?
No, I think I'm okay. What the fuck was that?
I think it was a little green man.
A green man?
That little
What
man
has
needs to
happened?
learn some manners.
What is happening? There's so many things going on. Let's go follow it. And then can we just sit down and talk about everything that happened? Because I'm very confused still.
Should
If
go to
it's-
a different town. I feel like everyone here is like rude or mean or trips you or
Yeah,
puts
that
their
sounds
hand in your face or
With a candy cane, no less. That is not very festive.
I know that's
Well-
very rude. Let's go get them.
Well, with all the randomness happening, one thing you can always count on is that Nilesian will, unannounced, leave.
Yes. So you've made your way. You're on your way to following that little creature down. The last look that you got, Nilesian, since you made a move pretty quickly to pursue, is it dipped inside this shop down here. So you've kind of closed the gap enough to see that this door opened and closed, and the little figure ran inside.
Before we pursue, can I just like check my items just because
Yes.
I'm a rogue and
Yep.
I just don't want to get robbed.
Yeah. So as you're kind of like feeling around there, I don't know. Is there a check for that, Keith? Is that a
Probably
check?
investigation.
I
Would it
mean,
be-
she just looks in her inventory. She just knows. I mean, you could make it an investigation check, but it shouldn't be too hard.
Okay. So my question is are you doing it quickly or thoroughly? I guess would be the question. Because if you're doing it quickly, I will have you roll me an investigation. If you're taking the extra time to do a thorough check, you don't need to do a check. Yeah, I can give you the answer one way or another. I just need to know how you're checking.
I did it quickly and I already rolled because I was impatient, and it is a 21.
Cool. Yeah, you don't notice anything missing.
Nice.
Okay. So Nelisian, you are pursuing. You are the first to get to the door. What would you like to do?
Check to see if it's open.
All right. So you are you checking for traps, or are you just checking to see if it's unlocked?
Nope. Just checking to see if it's unlocked.
It is unlocked.
I will open it
All right.
and walk in.
So you go in, and what you see, you disappear off the map here. You are greeted by kind of this open floor plan. Right inside the door, you see 2 big Christmas trees that you believe were set up for the holidays. Behind the counter in front of you, you see a big humanoid character dressed in all red and white. And just inside to the right, kind of around a couple of tables, and there's a couple of big bookshelves kind of lining the western and southern walls of the shop. And you see a bunch of, and by a bunch, you see 5 little characters kind of rifling through the shelves. But you can't really tell if anything's missed. That's kind of what you see at first glance when you walk in.
So does it look like they're like ransacking the place, or does it look like they're supposed to be there?
They are shoveling things into a bag. So that's about all you see right now. And then the guy behind the counter, what is the rest of the group doing? And then we will jump back to what you are doing in just a second, Nelisi. And I just need to know where the rest of the group is.
I'm dusting snow off of dusk right now.
Okay.
I will start walking towards where Nelisian went.
I will run towards where Nelisian went.
Okay.
Kneel down to Dusk and Dawn and say, well, we have to teach that little green thing some manners, eh?
I agree. And I'm going to hold Dawn's hand so tightly and just like run with her.
Perfect.
Let's go.
All right. So as you guys converge into said room, into said shop, give me just a second here. I hope that this works. I have not done this yet. Oh, that did not. Okay. Give me just a second. This is what you see. I have to bring your characters in one at a time. But this is what you guys are seeing in the room in front of you. When you walk into the shop.
Whoa.
Santa?
I'm trying to get your guys' characters in here. I think when I copy and paste them, that you guys still maintain control of them. But please confirm if you don't mind.
Yes.
Got it.
Perfect. Okay. And we can rearrange them in the room. I'm just copying and pasting them for the time being. All right. So Nelisian being the first one in, how would you like to proceed at this moment, Nelisian?
The dude behind the counter.
Yes.
What's he doing?
He is standing there. It appears to be that he's kind of rifling through the stuff under the countertop in front of him. He hasn't really noticed you walk in just yet. But I'll let you kind of decide where you're at, but the rest of the group is just kind of funneling in through the door behind you, but you have as much distance as you want to put between you and the group. The only thing that you kind of notice right away is this other little character seems you recognize his character as the one that you were pursuing, and he's kind of heading around the counter right now.
If I can, I would like to catch up to him and pick him up by the scruff of his clothes.
All right. Perfect. Then at that point, I need all of you guys to roll initiatives, please.
Oh no.
Actually, I have to run. I was trying to draw it out, but
it's all good. No, that's totally fine. Would you like us to do just some basic things with your character? Like, would you like me to essentially play your character while you're gone?
yeah,
Zog, watch the door.
Cool. And I'll catch you up to speed, Keith. Like I said, I want to have a one-on-one with you soon, just to kind of like level out your backstory, all of that type of stuff. So we'll get you caught up to speed as well, and I'll kind of run you through what happened when you stepped away.
If Zog is in the fight, it's +6 to attack with either his whip or his sword.
Okay.
I think that's so smart though, to have him watch the door. That is
really
that works
smart.
too.
Cool. Okay.
Wait, a question before you leave, Keith. What class are you?
Ranger.
Okay, cool.
All right, Keith. Sorry, we didn't get to the quote unquote exciting stuff right now.
This is great.
So,
great.
But yeah, and hopefully
just hanging out with everybody.
Yeah.
Peace out.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Bye,
See ya.
Keith.
Bye, Keith.
Miss you already.
This would be a good spot. I expect this to. I don't expect this to be an extremely long encounter, but can we take like a 2-minute break for me to go grab a drink real quick?
Yep.
And then we can get right back into it. And then type in Discord or in here your guys' initiatives. Actually, do me a favor, type it in the Discord channel. Log it in the tavern Discord channel, just so I have it in writing, everyone's numbers, so I can rearrange them and keep track of them that way instead of having to write them all down.
Hey, perfect. Jesse, if you were on D&D Beyond, you could see it.
I know. I actually have D&D Beyond up, but I actually haven't.
I'm just messing with you. I know I know me and Corbin are the only ones in there, so I'm just messing with you.
No, it comes down to I have like 35 tabs open right now. So like me jumping back and forth, I'm like, I'm just gonna ask for it all to be in Discord because it's right there for me. But yes, I do think D&D Beyond is shaping up to be something that I think would be fun to utilize as a group. But for now, let's take a quick 2 or 3 minute break. We'll come right back to it, and then we will start this encounter off.
Yep, I'm good with that.
Okey-dokey.
I gotta recrop everybody. All right, we will be back shortly.
And you're holding a goblin by the scruff of the neck wearing an elf costume with sharpened candy canes as weapons is what you're looking at right now.
Well, while I'm holding it, I will just attack it.
Okay, so roll the hit, please.
Can we all see this?
Yeah, you guys are far enough away and just kind of funneling in through the door right now that all you see is Nelisian holding this elf-looking character by the scruff of the neck getting ready to beat it. That's all you guys see. I mean, you see the Santa-esque looking character in front of you on the eastern wall behind the counter. You guys at this point don't have line of sight for what's happening along the shelves over here, but you do see Nelisian, like I said, holding the elf character-esque thing by the scruff of the neck. And that's kind of what you are witnessing at the moment.
24 to hit.
That does hit. So you can roll your damage.
13 damage to that little goblin.
Okay, perfect. You clobber that goblin that you are holding. He kind of lets out a wail at that point when you hit him. He looks bloodied. And that is then on to, let me pull up the initiatives again. Then we are on to Corbin's turn, but I want to give everyone an opportunity to, so why Nelisian took his action to attack, I will give you guys all time to kind of react to what's happened, and then we will start your guys' turn. So if you see this happening and your characters would move a little bit further into the room, by all means, I won't take that as your guys' turn. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of time to react since it kind of has taken you guys off guard here a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, I'd like to react. I want to walk in and say, whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, Nelisian, why such violence so early?
They're goblins.
And can I walk in?
Kill him.
And then, so I see this bartender man.
Yeah, you see the guy dressed in all red and white behind the counter.
I want to go to him and then say, sir, are these your employees?
Okay, so that so that is what Cal is doing. What is everyone else doing? I need to, before I go to that conversation, I need to figure out what everyone else is doing. So you've closed the gap a little bit. You're a little bit closer. We're going to assume that this is where you're at. You haven't quite made it to the counter. Something I want to reiterate is please look at Discord. There's a chance I will be messaging some of you guys on the side during all of this, so please keep an eye on that. But yeah, anyways, anyone else want to set the scene for what their character is doing?
Dawn wants to draw her mace and say,
Kill it, Nalita Lily.
It's Nelisian. And I will. Yeah, I will draw his sword. What she said.
Dusk is going to close the gap and get as close to Nelisian as she can. So I don't know. She has a movement of 30, by the way. Okay. So you can decide.
So I will let you, because of the time period that happened where all of this kind of happened at once, where you guys kind of crowded in through the door. In the time that you guys are crowding in through the door is when Nelisian was closing the gap to the character that he's holding by the scruff of the neck now. So I will let you guys pick how close you want to be, because I'm going to say that there was enough time that passed that you guys would have been able to close the gap between him. Kind of the bewilderment of picking this character up and realizing what it was would have given you guys enough time to get wherever you guys want to.
Okay, cool. And then I'm going to point at the goblin and be like, you little shit, you tripped me. Why?
At that point, why it's like kind of wrestling in Nelisian's grasp, he's like, they were going, he like kind of like is choking on his clothes as he's like hanging there, and he kind of like points at Cal and he's like, he was gonna rat us out. And that's
Cal.
because this is the same head that you saw through the window. So he was concerned that you were going to rat him out.
Alex was paying as little attention as Cal was to his wandering around.
This is a head.
Yana is really wishing that there could have been a short rest in these last 3 sessions to regain some of the things that he has used.
All right, so we've kind of allowed you guys to set the scene what you're doing. For any of those, because of I don't know what we're going to cut from the episode and what we're not. Keith's character Zog is in fact guarding the door. Just to kind of set the scene for what Zog is doing. He's a giant menacing bugbear guarding the door so nobody can come or go. And from that point, we had Nelisian take his turn. We have moved on to Corbin's turn now.
So while my sword is drawn, I am nevertheless going to cast Dissonant Whispers on the elf in Nelisian's hands. And so the elf needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom saving throw. Okay. Okay. What am I trying to save against?
15.
He does pass the wisdom saving throw.
You son of a bitch.
Barely. If it matters, it was barely passed.
All right.
Yes.
Well,
I don't think it does.
You're only going to take as half as much damage, piece of shit. So you take 7 damage.
Okay. Perfect. So between the bludgeoning that Nelisian gave and Yana whispering some ill thoughts towards the goblin, he is looking worse for wear, kind of barely hanging on at this point. The choked off sounds that you were getting when he was originally trying to talk have kind of like progressed to like a gargling sound where you can tell he's very much struggling to get anything out at the moment. At that point, we have moved on to Dusk's turn. You are muted.
I have a quick clarifying question. When Cal asked Santa Boy,
yes,
like what's going on, did he answer yet? Or
that's a good call. Yes. So he at that moment, so Nelisian's hit Yana has also kind of interrupted Cal's train of thought, but Cal gets his point across to the guy behind the counter and he's like, employees, ho, 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 I don't think so. And at that point, he kind of jumps on top of the counter, making his way towards Cal. And that is kind of where we've taken off or have left off at that point. So yes, hopefully that answers your question. Yes, that was the guy behind the counter's response.
Oh my God. Someone's been naughty.
Okay. Dusk is very confused, but she's gonna keep asking this goblin that's gargling. Or do I actually see the goblins on the like near the shelves now?
It depends on what direction you're facing. Based upon how you ran into the room, I'm saying you don't.
Okay.
I mean, you hear stuff, but it comes down to if you would have looked while you were running by. If you were more fixated on the goblin that Nelisian was holding, I'm going to say that you wouldn't have seen it. But you do hear some like kind of some ruckus going on over here at this point. As everything has kind of subsided a little bit, the talking of the goblin, the character behind the bar letting out his bellowing laugh, everything has subsided just a little bit, the kind of like the calm before the storm type feel in the room. So you do hear some shuffling going on, kind of on the southern wall of the shop that you guys are in.
Okay. I am just going to look at the Santa Boy that jumped on the counter.
Okay.
And I'm going to use my free action, bonus action, just to ask a question. Just be like, what's going on? Tell me now, or I think this guy's going to die. And I don't know if he's important to you. And then I'm going to hold my action. And if anything attacks any of the party members, I am going to attack anything that is close to me.
Perfect. Okay.
I'm gonna also move to be in striking distance of this guy.
Perfect. So as you spend that action to ask, or the bonus action to ask your question, he kind of turns to you and he's like, let's just say they are not the ones on my naughty list. And he kind of raises his like staff to get ready to hit Cal. And that's kind of where it stops at that point. And at which point, I will let you choose if you would like to. Is that I don't know if that is enough to justify you spending said action that you were holding, or if you want to hold off to see what happens, we would then move to Dusk's turn, or to Dawn's turn. But if you want to take your action, feel free to do so if that would have been enough to initiate. If not, we'll move on to Dawn at this point.
You can move on to Dawn. I'm going to actually hit if somebody hits one of our party members.
So Dawn, what are we looking to do?
What the hell kind of business is this? This is bullshit. You attack my friends and then all of a sudden you expect us to just what? We're on your naughty list now? What are you talking about?
And then she's going to bless on Cal Shazar, on Dusk, and on Nalisali.
What does that do?
Yeah, please describe what bless does.
So you guys all become blessed, and whenever a target makes an attack roll or a saving throw for the next minute, the target can roll a d4 and add the number rolled to the attack roll or saving throw.
Sweet.
Perfect. So something
I'm going to have an emotional moment right now, though, as he realizes I have friends.
So something I wanted to clarify real quick. I would like to give you guys the opportunity to, for the sake of the listeners, when you guys say you guys are doing an action or a spell, please describe at least a little bit of flavor behind what you're doing. Maybe flavor is the wrong word. Give me the gist of what the spell is doing, just so that people listening will know what's happening. And then I can add the flavor as need be. But at least kind of give us a rough idea of what is happening with said spell.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Dungeon Master. Oh my gosh, I am tired. Dungeon Master, sir.
Daddy Master.
Yes, Daddy.
Daddy Master.
Daddy Master.
We would hate to be on the Dungeon
Master.
Daddy's naughty list,
Right?
Jesse.
I'm not gonna lie. If you get me this, there is a chance I want to show up at the creative retreat at Tea Turtle wearing this shirt. I'm not gonna lie.
In April?
No, that's actually in mid.
Concerns.
It's like late January.
Oh, I gotta get hurried. Okay, I gotta get it finished.
You don't actually have to, but I
oh no, I
know-
have to. I really do. It'll be done.
All right. So at that point, so Dawn has kind of shouted at the room. It doesn't break the stride of what Santa on the counter is getting ready to do to Cal. So I will let you decide what you want to do with your main action. He is unfazed by you shouting at him and saying that you guys shouldn't be on his naughty list.
Talking to me.
No, I'm talking to. Yes. I'm sorry. You used blessed on. I'm sorry. Yes, Cal. I am talking to you. Yes.
Excellent. Cal's going to look at him and he's going to puff up his chest. And he's going to say, "Why would they not be on the naughty list? They need to learn their manners and not to trip little purple princesses." What kind of weapon does he have?
So the guy on the counter is wielding a staff. An aggression towards his desire to teach the goblin some manners. I'm going to rush at him and also grab his staff and try to take it from him with a strength check. Okay.
Let's
man.
go.
He is ripped under those robes.
Ooh, 19.
Oh wow. Strong wizard boy.
So
learn some manners.
so you have stopped the momentum of the swing coming through, but he has not lost control of the staff. And when you feel or are met with the force of the blow coming through, you feel like you're matching equal strength at the moment. It doesn't look like it, but when that happens, you kind of see the guy on the counter's chest also puff up a little bit. But it has stopped. But you are kind of equaled right now in the progression of said staff. So I don't know if you guys are both like
locked.
Yes. Yeah. So like picture him kind of like taking almost like a hatchet style swing at you. You've grabbed 2 spots along the staff as well, and you've stopped the swing from happening. But you're in like a deadlock now where you feel like if you let go or loosen it all, that the swing will finish through and hit you.
Excellent. Cal just smiles at him.
Perfect. Is that what you're wanting to do right there at that point?
Yeah, I figure that's my turn.
Cool. Okay. So as that's happening, we have moved on to the goblin's turn. The goblins here along the wall have kind of stopped what they are doing on both the southern and western wall, and they're kind of making their way across the room to you. Give me just a second. My cat is directly in front of my monitor.
Hi, Luna.
Oh, apparently I grabbed everything because I couldn't see. Perfect. Okay. So they have moved. At least 3 of the goblins have moved right now. This other goblin is still kind of rifling the shelves down here. He has not really paid much attention yet. I need to know what your AC is, Dusk.
My AC is 14.
Okay. So the goblin standing here on the other side of the table, funny enough, the table is actually taller than the goblin. He pulls out a crossbow and fires a sharpened candy cane at your ankles. Thankfully, it does miss and goes into the ground kind of in between your feet. But because that was the attack you were looking for, while it didn't hit, I will give you the opportunity to respond because technically they have made an aggressive attack move towards you, even though it didn't hit.
I'm still not going to take it. I'm going to wait until like somebody actually gets hit.
Perfect. Okay. All right. So that happened. I need Nelisian. I need your AC now, please.
18.
18. Okay. Give me just a second here. That does actually hit.
Get out of here, you dumb little goblin.
And hold on, I need to find the damage here. Perfect. Oh, okay. It hit you. I mean, it makes sense. Depending on the gap that was between the hit here, you take 1 point of damage as a sharpened candy cane kind of scrapes your ankle from slightly behind and to like kind of back to your right. So you kind of feel it on your right leg, kind of grazes you a little bit, and it does make contact, and you take 1 point of damage.
Why?
And that is the goblin's turn, and we are actually back to the top of the round with Nelisian, and then we will be moving on to I will try to preemptively give you guys whose next turn it would be. It would be Nelisian, and then we have Yana, followed by, this is where the interruption of Santa is going to come in. I gave you guys an attack of opportunity round against him because he was kind of minding his own business, but he will fall in between Yana's action and Dusk's action in the turn order now.
So Nelisian got hit.
Yeah, Nelisian got hit for 1 point of damage.
I am going to take my action then.
Perfect.
I'm gonna stabby stab this goblin, but try to, or he's pretty he's looking pretty rough,
Yeah,
right?
he's looking like he's barely hanging on.
Okay, I'm gonna take the butt end of my rapier and just like bonk him on the head and just try to like knock him out and not kill him because she doesn't feel like she has enough answers.
Okay.
So try and just KO.
Yeah, go ahead and roll to hit.
Oh, that's a nat 20.
Okay. You do hit, and because it is a nat 20, I will say that you calculate the swing needed to knock the guy out, and as soon as it hits, you feel Nalisian, you feel the body go limp. So you don't think it's going to be taking any other actions. You haven't checked to see if there's a pulse, but the body is limp at this point.
He must learn his manners. Don't kill him before that.
And then we are at that point. Is there anything outside of that you're wanting to do, Dusk, or is it just the motion of knocking the goblin out at the moment?
Just knocking the goblin out as my held action.
Okay, cool. So at that point, Nalisian, we are on to you. I will let you decide what you want to do with the goblin in your hands, but he is limp at the moment.
I'll drop it.
Cool. Drop him to the ground. He does not move. He kind of looks like a crumpled heap. If anybody wants to check to see if he is alive, feel free to roll a perception check. That would mainly be Dusk and Nalisian at this point because you guys are close enough to tell. If not, you can carry on with
free action to do so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Just
sure.
That's
just so we know.
Cool.
11.
15.
Perfect. You do see very ragged breaths coming from it, like his chest is going up and down, but very raggedly. So you do believe he's still alive. And that's kind of where we're at. So what would you like to do, Nalisian?
So this dude is in the process of swinging at Cal. Is that right?
Correct, except he's in like almost this... for lack of a better term, he's in an arm wrestling match with him right now, where Cal and him are kind of like at equal strength in the middle of the swing, and that's kind of where we're at. They're locked in,
so
hand in hand at the moment.
If I get behind him, is that flanked?
It is.
So all right, I'll just get behind him and slash at his back.
Okay, so I will leave that. So for what type of attack are you going to try? Are you just a slash attack, like a melee attack?
Yeah, I'll just
dash
behind
I'll give you
him
that.
and just slash.
I was going to say, depending on what you did, because technically he's pretty high up on the counter. Like the counter stands at like kind of like mid stomach or just below the chest level.
Then I'll slash at his Achilles tendons.
Perfect. Okay.
Not Santa Claus.
16.
Let me find the tab again. What was it?
16.
That is a hit.
Haha. 12 points of damage to that dude's heels.
All right. Perfect. All right. He takes 12 points of damage. At that point, while still kind of flexing in his attack to Cal, he kind of like shuffles just a little bit to get a look at you and then continues to push just a little bit harder towards Cal, which is where... do you have anything else you would like to do on your turn, Nalisian, or is that kind of where you're stopping?
I'm actually going to use... I'm glad you said something because I would have forgot. My second wind.
Okay.
Which get a 1d10 plus 1 for my health. Let me roll that. All right, so I get 5 points back, which is nice. Okay. I'm done.
Okay. Perfect. We are on to Yana's turn now, and then it will be Santa's turn, followed by Dusk's turn.
All right, I'll make this short and sweet. I'll point my fingers at Santa's ho-ho head and fire an Eldritch Blast at it, hoping that a 13 hits.
You said a 13?
Yeah.
And you are, I'm sorry, one more time. I was reading something I had written down over here. You're attacking Santa, is that correct?
Yeah, correct.
Okay. So that does not hit.
You son of a bitch.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. What else
But
is
no.
normal? That's the usual.
Yeah, that's a little bit unfortunate, but yes, I that did not hit. Is there anything else you are looking to do? If not, we will move on to
I will close the gap. So if I have to melee later, that's what I'll do.
perfect. Okay, so then at that point, it is Santa's turn. Give me just a second here to pull up his. All right. He is going to, as he's kind of swinging in, he starts kind of like chanting just a little bit to himself. And I need to know what your spell save is there, Cal.
Oh,
What's he rolling?
13.
13. Spell save DC is what he's rolling for.
Oh.
You said 13?
Oh, wait. Sorry. I'm going to roll.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, not roll. I apologize. I forgot the spell save DC is just already there. What's your spell save DC?
13. Is the number.
13. Okay.
Wait, can he add the bless to that?
Oh.
Hold on. Let me pull up bless again.
I don't
I
think so.
have it in the Discord.
What were you going to say there, Michelle?
I said I don't think so. I think it's only to attacks and saving throws.
Yes, that is correct.
So I don't know. I don't think that.
Is Cal attacking with the spell?
No, this is Santa attacking at the moment.
So what saving throw is he supposed to be rolling?
So, yes. I'm sorry. That's what I was getting at. Give me just a second. I was just asking what it was
Because
based
he's
upon
rolling
what I was...
against your spell DC.
Yes.
You're not rolling against his spell DC.
Yeah, you're correct. I forgot about spell DC. So hold on, give me just a second. Mine is so roll against. You're trying to beat a 13, so give me a roll here, real quick, there, Cal.
For
15.
which saving throw? The spell should
on.
tell you which save he needs.
Thank
to roll
you.
for.
Yes, I'm sorry. I had that all calculated out, and then I didn't have that. What I was missing here is hold on. The attack spell. Hold on. There it is. Sorry, give me just a second.
Don't kill me.
Mhm.
Please, Santa.
And wait, so can he use bless with that though, and add a D4 to whatever roll he makes?
It would.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if it's a saving throw, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it would. What spell are you using,
Blessed
Jesse?
be.
magic missile.
No.
I think that's just an attack. So he doesn't. I don't think he rolls a saving throw for that. I think you roll an attack roll for that. But let me look.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, sorry. That was this is the first time I have looked at the stat block in like 3 weeks. So I was getting this confused. But yes, you are correct. Yes, he is using magic missile against you. So what is here? Okay, does an 18 hit?
Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect. Okay, so then you take so he is able to kind of position his staff accordingly, and you take
Wait, so he pulls out of the lock.
no, he's still in the lock with you, but he's able to kind of push it in a way that he's able to cast magic missile using his staff. As
Gosh,
like
it's gonna be right in my face, huh?
So you do take 5 points of damage.
Oh no. I'm squishy. I'm down.
You're down.
Yeah, I don't have 5 hit points.
Also,
Oh my
if I'm
God.
reading this right, Jesse, magic missile just hits. There's no attack.
Yeah.
It just hits.
Oh,
It's
okay.
It's like a
Yeah.
guaranteed. Vidar used that all the time.
I forgot about that.
Or-
Yes.
It does a 1d4 plus 1, but it just hits. There's no save. There's no attack roll.
Yeah.
Sorry, is it too
Um,
late for me to use shield? If
I
so, it's
would.
okay.
No, it's a reaction. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go for it.
Not to step on your shoes.
No,
Jesse.
you're good. I will say this as I'm getting used to all of what your guys' characters can do. The interruptions like that help me because I have a lot of like this stuff written down somewhere, but like I said, I have almost 30 tabs open, so it takes me a second to find the according tab. So please feel free to interrupt and cut me off like that, because the quicker we can get through it, the less it stalls.
So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and use shield first, as it just negates magic missile.
That was
Perfect.
Close.
All right. So while that's going on, because of the way that unfolded, we're going to say that was slightly more reactive than you were expecting. So he's made a little bit of ground on pushing the staff towards you. So he's he has the advantage now on the staff movement towards you. And
going nuts.
And then at that point, so that's Santa's turn there. And we are then on to Dusk. What would you like to do?
Dusk is going to move over here. She's going to jump up on that counter and use another bonus action. She wants to know what the fuck is going on. And she's going to say, hey, what the fuck is going on? Before she takes her action.
Okay. So as that's happening, Santa's kind of grunting a little bit as he's giving his response, and he's like, is it not obvious I am attempting to get you out of the store I am robbing?
Couldn't be any more clear.
You're a robber. Okay, I am going to stab him.
I love
at
that
visual.
point,
right? And I should have asked for this sooner, but it kind of makes sense because I always lose the perception that a round happens so quickly. Will Nelisian and Dusk give me both a perception check at this point as well, while all of this is happening?
That's a natural 20 for a 24.
That is a 7.
Okay, so because Dusk is so focused on trying to get the answer out of Santa on the counter, she does not see this, but Nelisian at this point, because he's kind of taken a moment from swinging in and hurting Santa, he is looking down below the counter now, and you see a gagged and tied shopkeep under the counter, knocked out.
Oh.
So you don't see that, Dusk, but hopefully Santa has answered your question as to what they are attempting to do right now, and that's kind of the state of it. And you said you're going to stab him. Did you roll to hit?
Not yet. I'm going to do that now.
Perfect.
Oh, that's another nat 20.
Oh, let's go.
Okay. Roll
All right.
to confirm.
So I double. Oh, and I get sneak attack since I'm with my friends.
Yes.
Okay. So I double my D8, right?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
I haven't played D&D in forever. Where's my D8?
It's okay.
Nope.
We're all learning together.
This is a D8. Okay. And then 1d6.
Are we doubling dice or rolling 2 for crits?
Oh,
That's a good question. I will ask you guys. What would you guys prefer?
The rules are you roll twice and add it together.
Okay.
That's the
I
default.
like rolling twice.
Yeah,
okay.
let's roll twice. That's fine.
What's that mean?
But critical roll doubles the dice, so it's whatever everybody wants to do.
Yeah, so instead of just flat doubling the damage, you roll twice, essentially is what it is.
So you'd roll 2 d8s.
Mm-hmm.
And then just my sneak attack, right?
Yes.
Because I don't think that doubles.
Yeah, as far as I remember, sneak attack does not double, but I don't
think so
recall off the top of my head, but I don't think it is. I think it's just whatever attack, like the hit or damage of the hit that you rolled would double.
I can check on it later. It's a 7.
Okay.
Your sneak attack does double on a critical hit, so go ahead and roll twice for this.
That's a 10.
Okay, so 7 and then 10 or 10 total?
10 total.
Okay, 10 total. Okay, perfect. All right. Anything else, or is that your turn?
I'm just going to let out a crazy laugh because she's very excited now. She's going to be like, ha!
Perfect. Okay, so then we are on to Dawn's turn.
Oh my God, you guys are driving me crazy. You have to be more careful, Cal.
And then she's going to cast Shield of Faith on Cal as he's struggling with Santa.
All right.
And Shield of Faith, a shimmering shield a shimmering field appears around Cal, and he gets a +2 bonus to his AC for up to 10 minutes.
Perfect. Okay. Anything else, or is that what you want to do with your turn?
Feels great. Feel tingly.
Does that feel better, Cal?
It does, thank you. This man is very mean.
Okay. Now go get him, okay?
And if it wasn't apparent enough, as this is happening, you do feel like this a little bit of surge in your strength, as she has granted you this ability. So you do feel a little bit reinvigorated. And funny enough, that is actually, we're on to your turn now, Cal. What would you like to do?
So just +2 to my AC. Looking even angrier at Santa Claus, says, "You and your boys need to learn some manners. I have some problems with your naughty list. And these little green boys don't deserve to be on the nice list at all." And then I'm going to try to take his weapon again.
All right, so you're still grappling.
We're still in the lock, and I'm just gonna yank again. Give me that.
We got a wizard who's just not casting any spells.
I know, right? I was very interested when you were describing your character to me, Alex. I was like, I'm very interested on how he's going to play this aggressive frontline wizard with no health. And
here we are.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was a 21, by the way.
Oh man. Okay. Give me just a second here.
We're all learning together.
You said a 21. For better or worse, this is working out perfectly. You are in a deadlock with Santa still. You have made 0 ground because both of Santa's rolls have matched your roll in strength identically both times.
So is it just 2 bearded men struggling over a staff?
Yes.
In the middle of all this.
And not only that, from the outside looking in, almost nothing has happened. It's just like 2 old dudes sweating over this staff in the center of this battle happening. And that's what we're looking at right now.
Yes.
People at this establishment need to learn some manners.
I love this imagery. Okay.
So as your turn is ending there, the back elf here or goblin is going to close the distance on Dawn there. These 2 are also both going to move up. This one is now on top of the table. This guy seems lost to the world over here. He's still pilfering the shelves. He has absolutely no idea what's going on, or he's just in a greed frenzy. Whatever you want to call it. So I need your AC there, Dawn.
That's a 17.
Okay, perfect. He misses. You do feel this rapid succession of attacks on the back of your back as a goblin is attempting to stab through your armor with 2 sharpened candy canes kind of behind your back. But you don't feel anything other than the thumping of said candy canes on your back. I need Dusk's AC and I need Yana's AC.
Bitch, leave me alone. My AC is 13.
Okay.
Mine is 14.
Clayton, I sent you a message on Discord.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So the goblin targeting Dusk here does hit. Yana, you evade. Whether you evade it or the goblin missed, the candy cane does not make contact to you, but you hear a large thunk as a sharpened candy cane kind of shoots in between your legs and sticks into the wooden shop floor below your feet. And then Dusk, you take 2 points of damage.
Key.
And then we are back to top of the round to Nelisian.
Okay. So I will look down at the shopkeep and then wink.
Okay.
Put my finger over. Shh. And wink.
Okay.
And then I will attack Santa again.
Okay.
Oh, that's not as good. Oh wait, +4, +4, +4. Hang on. Oh, still not good. 16.
That does hit.
Oh, let's go. Another 11 points of damage to this man's heels.
Very nice. Okay.
He's still standing.
All right. And now we are on to the great Iana's turn.
Is Santa still standing, by the way?
He is.
Okay.
He is bleeding pretty heavily from his calf and or Achilles at this point. But he is still standing, and his strength on the staff in deadlock with Cal has not loosened at the moment.
Can't kill Santa.
In dodging the attack, let's see here. Yana will now see this stupid thing back here. And so I am going to run to close the gap. And then I'm going to use my booming blade on the ankle biter that is trying to attack one of my new best friends.
Perfect. Roll to hit, please.
Does a 12 hit?
Yes, actually it does.
This Santa ain't got shit, dude.
Yeah. No, if that had been Santa, you would not have hit, but because you're hitting a little goblin, that
Oh, he's after the goblin. Oh,
yeah, he's
sorry.
after the goblin.
I was like, man, Santa ain't got shit.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see here. Sorry. Let me get back to my tab. Uh, 13 points of damage.
How much? 13?
Yeah, and if it
Ooh.
moves within 5 feet, it's gonna take extra damage. Just so
Okay.
it knows.
Nice. Okay. Very well. Or very well done. Nice. Okay. Yeah. So you run up, and the goblin is so fixated on just trying to stab its little like candy cane spears into the back of Dawn right there that you walk up and you clobber this goblin across the face. He looks worse for wear, but he is still up and about, and he's kind of shifted his focus towards you. And at that point, we move on to, unless there was something else you wanted to do, we're moving on to Santa's turn.
No.
Okay. So go ahead and roll me a strength check at disadvantage right now, Cal.
Oh, disadvantage. Uh-oh.
10.
Okay. Okay. So at this point, Santa's in a deadlock with you. He takes his hand off the staff for just a second and winds up, and now I need you to tell me what your AC is.
It's 13 right now with the shield.
13 now with the shield. Okay. He rears back and he hits you and smack dab in between the eyes, like just wails you, smack dab in the middle of your face. You take no damage, but you are unable to move from that spot now. You're frozen in place. And then he
like a magical punch, or am I just so confused?
No, it was a magical punch. So like you look down and your feet are actually like frozen in place now.
Am I like paralyzed?
Nope, not paralyzed. You just are unable to move from that spot. So you can move. Your physical character cannot move. Like you can't leave that area, but your character still has use of all of his extremities or whatnot. He had just frozen in place.
He says, "Ow."
That is Santa's turn. So now we're on to Dusk's turn.
Am I able to make it over to Dawn?
Yes.
Or I don't.
So.
Is this are these like 5 feet squares or?
I believe so. I don't remember. I never
They are
remember how
5
to do
feet.
the stupid ruler thing.
I don't know how to do that either.
The ruler's
there it is.
underneath the magnifying glass. And you
Yeah.
put your point and move
So
it.
yeah, if you
square's
click the
5.
ruler, you could. It's 30 feet from your spot to the square right in front of Dawn. So like if you want to go to this square, like right
Okay.
here, you could make it to here. You couldn't make it to the other side of her though, but you could make it to here.
Okay. So I'm going to see my sister getting attacked by this stupid little elf. But before I go, I'm
Going to stabby stab Santa.
Perfect.
Oh, that is a 21 to hit.
That hits.
Okay.
that is an 8.
8 points of damage. Perfect.
And then I am going
To a bonus action, disengage.
Okay.
And I'm going to run over to my sister.
All right.
And I'm going to say, don't touch her.
The goblin gets this like bug-eyed look for a second. It's like, huh? And kind of like looks at you, takes his focus off of Yana and Dawn, and is kind of like peering below and through Dawn's legs up at you as you're trying to talk to it. And that is on to Dawn's turn.
Dusk, Yana, do you guys think that you can handle this guy behind me? I'm gonna try and help Cal some more.
Yes.
Yana will put both hands on the hilt of his sword and be like, I've never felt so confident in all my life.
Perfect. Okay. And then I hold up my hand and a beam of fire shoots down over Santa and he has to make a dexterity saving throw. I don't know if it will be a disadvantage because he's kind of grappled with Cal.
Yeah. I'll go ahead and roll that at disadvantage for you. You said Dex saving throw?
Yep.
Okay. Good thing it was at disadvantage because the first roll is 20. Second roll is a 12.
Okay, yeah, that hits.
Perfect.
And then he takes 8 points of damage.
8 points of damage. Dang, you guys are doing some work on this guy. All right. So when your attack hits, Santa falters a little bit. For the first time, Santa has faltered just a little bit. And he has loosened the grip on the staff. He is still holding it in place, but it no longer looks like or feels like for you, Cal, that he's on the offensive. It feels like he is now just trying to maintain where he's at.
So am I still holding onto the staff?
Yes. Yeah. So literally
But I'm like paralyzed.
No. So picture
can't move.
literally nothing besides your boots are encased in ice. So like your entire rest of your body can move. Your feet are cemented to the ground because of this ice.
Okay. I'm just grunting the whole time, holding
Yes.
onto the staff.
But you feel as soon as that attack from Dawn hits, you feel like you've gained a moment of like you feel a little bit of weakness in Santa there, and you push the advantage back towards him.
Okay.
And funny enough, we are actually on to Cal's turn, unless you had anything else you wanted to do there, Dawn.
I'm good.
Okay, perfect. All right, so Cal, what are we doing here?
Okay, so my feet are just frozen.
Mhm.
I'm gonna do a strength check again and try to take this weapon.
Okay.
My man.
Just noticing that he's giving a little bit, I'm going to let out a big grunt. 14.
You are in exact deadlock with Santa.
All right, so
I'm not
we'll just hear
lying. I
another
wish I
big
could take a picture. I'm looking at a 14 on a D20 right now. Like yeah.
You've met your match clause. Just kidding. I don't know his name.
I like it though. All right. Is that all you're doing?
That's all I can do.
Okay, perfect. So at that point, this goblin back here is going to attempt to take a swing at Iana. Does a 12 hit?
No.
Okay,
You
perfect.
stupid little ankle biter.
He is, you can tell that he's like half-heartedly attacking you, and instead he's like, finally, it's this like weird realization has come across him when dusk ran up, and he kind of like looks at dusk, looks at dawn for a second, and is like half-ass stabbing you on the side, or attempting to. And you can tell he's like very perplexed by how there are two of who he was just attempting to stab in the back. He's like very concerned, where he's like, what is going on? And he's so distracted, he's like missing the stabs on you. He's just kind of like stabbing an air in front of you. The guy off over here is going to take a shot at Yana as well. Does another 12 does not hit. This guy here is now kind of come off the ground, and he is actually making his way towards Cal. Cal, does a 12 hit you?
Still have shield.
Still
Yeah.
shield.
Okay, perfect. They do not hit. In the future, I may look at separating their attacks, but I'm attempting my best to kind of speed up the little minions' turns. So I'm going to treat a lot of their attacks as virtually the same roll on hits for the time being. So they do not hit you guys at the moment. And we are back to the top of the round with Nalisian.
Well, I will just continue to hack at this man, I suppose.
All right.
I'm gonna go ahead and roll this.
So I'm just
Do I
holding
still
on
have
to the staff
advantage?
while he's attacking from behind.
You do have advantage, yes. You guys are still flanking.
Should have been doing it the whole time to see if I get a natural 20. 25 to hit with my blessing.
That does hit.
And a 14 damage to this mother trucker's heels.
Okay, so at that point, when you make contact to the heel this last time, it actually kind of like buckles Santa, where he drops down to a one knee. He is still trying to force the staff into Cal at this point, but you can tell he's lost a lot of his momentum, and he is looking worse for wear at the moment.
Sweet.
And unless you had anything else you were looking to do, we are moving on to Yana's turn.
I'm good.
Yana, what are we looking at?
Decisions.
I will, if your decision at all is weighted by this, you did say that you never felt more confident to handle the situation here in front of you. If that makes your decision on whether you're attacking this guy or this guy, I will keep you on task there.
Thank you very much, Dungeon Daddy. You're right. With both hands gripped tightly around the hilt of his sword, Yana will once again strike a booming blade on the fucking ankle biter that stinks so badly that Yana's trying to hold his breath while swinging, and does a 15 hit.
It does.
Okay. And 6 damage.
All right.
Thank God for modifiers, because that was a 1.
How would you like to finish the goblin?
That's a great question. Yana, feeling very spiteful, would love to take it by the ankle and flip it out so it falls on its back as it says, "How do you like being tripped?" And then takes the sword and chops its head off while it's on the ground.
Oh, perfect.
Dang.
You now are next to a decapitated goblin back here on the ground. Yeah, and that's where we're at.
And then Yana will turn to face this one and this one and says, if you want more of that, then you better no, wait. You better back away or you're gonna get more of that. Yana's never he's never killed anything in a battle before.
Oh, that's incredible. This guy at that point, because you shouted, has now realized that there's stuff going on in the room behind him, and he has now turned his focus directly at Yana. But we are going to jump to Santa's turn. And give me just a second here. Hold on. Give me just a second. Ooh, okay. Give me just a second. I have to measure something out here on. I think I know the answer, but I just want to double check. Okay. I need Nelician and Cal to roll me a dexterity saving throw, please.
Okay.
8.
Don't forget to roll your bless.
Yes.
Oh wait.
Get to roll D4. Add to it. 18 total for me.
Ooh.
9.
All right. Oh boy. Okay. What was yours, Nelician? I'm sorry. One more time.
18.
18.
I
Oh, boy.
roll some of that.
Okay. All right. So Cal is stunned until the end of Old Saint Nicholas's next turn. And Nelician, you do not. I'm sorry. Cal is stunned and takes 4 points of damage. Nelician is not stunned and you take 2 points of damage.
Okay.
Oh dear.
Perfect. And that is Santa's turn, which leaves us to Dawn's turn. Oh, no, Dusk's turn. I'm sorry. Dusk's turn.
Okay. So now
Now that this little elf is dead, she's going to applaud Yana. She's like, good job. And then
Take a bow.
she's going to run back to Santa. And doing so, she's going to take her free action and yell at this elf, this one.
Okay.
I'm just going to say, hey, if you touch my sister, I'm going to gut you. And then run up back to Santa.
The goblin, not really understand what you're saying, looks quickly between you and looks back at Yana and is like, that ugly thing is your sister?
And then I am going to take a stabby stab at Santa.
Okay, and go ahead and do that at advantage, please.
Oh, okay.
Sneak attack.
Oh no. Wait. Oh, and I get a +4, right? Because bless.
Yes. Yep.
Oh my gosh, are you serious? Wait, that works. I think 17.
That does hit.
And sneak attack. That does a 6.
All right. To you guys near old Saint Nick over here, you believe he is barely hanging on at this point.
Let's go.
So you guys are closing the gap there. And we are, is there anything else you are looking to do on your turn, Dusk, or are we moving on to Dawn's turn?
I'm good.
Perfect. All right, Dawn, take it away.
So I am going to run over here in front of this elf right here. Actually, wait, no, in front of this goblin right here. And I'm going to say, if you want to go attack that man, you're going to have to go through me. And then I'm going to stay there, but I'm going to cast Word of Radiance on Santa.
Okay.
Nice.
And that is a Constitution saving throw.
All right, let me roll that real quick. Let me find his constitution here. Ooh, that's not very good. 13.
What happens if I also have 13?
I think Ty goes to the attacker, right? Or is it the defense?
Let me double check. I think you save if you roll 13.
I can't ever remember what one it is.
The defender wins the exchange, so you win if you roll 13.
All right,
Okay.
yeah. So he did save then.
Yeah, okay. So nothing happens.
Perfect. All right. All right, we're on to Cal's turn.
I'm hurting pretty bad. And I'm still locked.
You are still locked, and conveniently again enough, because both of you are hurting severely at the moment. If you had not been hurting, you do believe that you would be winning this. But give me just a second, though. Hold on. Give me just a second. I want to look something up real quick. Sorry. Oh, actually, I am sorry. You are stunned from the last attack, so you are unable to move and or speak.
Oh,
you can speak only falteringly.
So
you
it's my whole body
automatically
is
fail
paralyzed.
strength and dexterity saving throws.
Oof.
That sucks.
Yeah. So you are stunned at the moment.
so I can't do anything with my strength.
You
my
would
wounds.
automatically fail strength and dexterity saving throws, so you can attempt to attack, but if you need a strength or dexterity saving throw, you just automatically fail it. And then attack rolls against you have advantage as well. So you can get an attack off, but you are unable to move, and you can speak sparingly. And anything involving a strength or dexterity saving throw automatically fails.
Okay, so my arms are frozen.
Your legs are frozen.
Okay.
You are stunned,
So I
though.
can-
So for the sake of you're trying to grapple the staff, I will say that you can hold on, but you are no longer pushing against it. You're like limply like hanging on to the staff like noodle arms at the moment.
Okay, and he's pulling on it.
Yes. But you can't move because your feet are frozen to the ground.
Can I? So he's standing on the bar, and pulling on the staff. If I let
Yes.
go, will he fall off the bar?
You can attempt to do so.
I will attempt to do so because I believe that is all I can do.
And in that moment of releasing, Santa does topple backwards onto Nelician.
Oh.
So, Nelician, go ahead and give me a strength check, please.
Just a strength check.
Yeah, just roll
Roll strength.
Let me ask you this. What is your strength, I guess, is what I should have asked.
It's 18 plus 4.
18 plus 4. Okay, so the situation that is happening now is you're now propping Santa up unless you want him to fall on you. So I'll give you the opportunity to catch him as he's falling backwards on you, or
can I roll in athletics or acrobatics and try to sidestep this fat fuck?
Yes, I'm not going to guarantee that
as
it
my
will work.
reaction potentially.
I will go ahead and allow it. He is a very wide fellow, so the odds of you sidestepping are slim. But go ahead and roll it for me.
Wait. Am I more likely to hold this dude up than sidestep him?
I will let you decide what you want to do. I'm not going to tell you that.
I'll try to sidestep him, I guess.
Okay. Go ahead and give me an athletics check.
14.
You, in fact, kind of you start the side step, but because of the way that Santa is falling, you get kind of caught in his cloak under his left arm. And you're now kind of in this weird tangle of Santa and Elysian on the ground, struggling between Santa's weight, the cloak, and now the staff that you're tangled with. So you're kind of in this like weird, awkward prone position on the ground with Santa.
Yeah, right.
And that is kind of where we're at there. Santa from that does in fact take 1 point of fall damage from falling off the counter. So Cal did do 1 point of damage there. And Santa is like the epitome of barely hanging on at the moment. And at that point, I need, does a 14 hit Yana, Dawn, or no, does a 14 hit either Yana or Dawn?
No.
Yes.
All right. Oh boy. Okay. Yana takes 5 points of damage, and Dawn, I swear, as much as I think I know your guys' names separately, I'm going to confuse them every single time, and I absolutely love it. So it's fantastic. I applaud you guys from this. But Dawn, you don't take any damage. But Yana, you do take 5 points of damage.
Uh-oh.
And at that point, this goblin here, while he shoots good old Yana, he shouts at Dusk and is like, "I shot your ugly sister."
Oh my gosh.
That's not my sister, you ding dong.
Who the fuck are you calling ugly? As Yana's trying to pull hair off his back.
So then at that point, we're back to top of the round with Nelisian. And
So am I
let
prone? I'm
you
prone.
are prone.
So I'll stand up.
Perfect.
And then I will attack prone Santa, I guess.
All right. Perfect. Go ahead and roll to hit with advantage.
Okay.
Even though you're not technically flanking now because he's below the counter, prone characters get attacked at disadvantage.
Right.
So you get to roll advantage anyways.
All right. So one is a 15, and another one is it's way better. Okay, I could go with the 15 or I could go with the 27. So I guess I'll go with the 27.
Good, because the 15 would not have hit. So go ahead and roll your damage on the 27.
Oh, that's not damage. This is damage. 12 points of damage.
All right, how do you want to finish Santa Claus?
Go get him, Nelisian.
I will stand up, stare at him, and then slowly push my sword through his neck, and then lift it back up, and then use my 20 feet of movement to walk away to this other goblin over here.
Yana's hands are in the air still from trying to cheer on Nelisian, and he goes, "I don't know what I was expecting, but I guess that's par for the course." Just silence.
Perfect. Okay. So at that point, both the goblin here and this goblin here, which are, well, I guess, and this goblin, kind of like this goblin in particular stops mid-stride. They're running. This goblin and this goblin throw their hands up into the air. The minute that Santa dies, they throw their hands up.
Give us all your shit. Give us everything.
Yana will fire an Eldritch Blast at this elf right here.
Oh, at what one?
The one that shot me.
This guy?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Are we still in initiative, or is
We will say this. I will allow Yana to get that attack off, and then we will decide what you guys want to do from there, depending on what happens to this little goblin. So go ahead and give me because you did your attack. So unless you had a bonus, let me ask you this. Nalisian, did you have a bonus action that you could have performed against?
Okay. I'm done. So
okay.
It's Yana's turn.
So Yana, then give me roll the hit on this, and it will determine the rest of the scenario will taper off depending on what happens here.
19.
Okay, that does hit.
As it should.
Oh, big damage.
3 points of damage. As Yana very confidently shrieks at the elf, "You ugly piece of shit! You think you can fire at me and get off scot-free?" And then fires his Eldritch Blast for 3 points of damage.
Pew pew.
All right. So your Eldritch Blast clips the crossbow that the elf or the goblin is holding there. It shoots it out of his hand, also removing 3 of his fingers on his right hand. And he just buckles to the ground and starts sobbing.
While that's happening, I want to come over here and grab this little goblin by the scruff and lift him up and then slam him on the table.
So he's now on the counter here. Perfect.
What do you know? What are you doing?
So this is what I will ask you guys. I'm happy to play out the rest of this encounter if you guys want, but I'm also okay ending it here. And this is where we would pick up, because the encounter is essentially done. So I know that there were some people, this even went longer than I anticipated. So I want to give the opportunity for anybody that needs to leave, if that's what we want to do, or we can finish that. I would say there's probably maybe 10 minutes left, give or take, maybe 15. It's up to you guys.
Good to keep going.
Yeah.
I'm good either way, but if people have obligations to go, they don't need to feel guilty for wanting to
For sure.
Yeah.
Michelle, if you need to go, it's fine.
Michelle, do you feel guilty?
You're also muted.
Because either way,
I thought you were. I thought
Oh.
you'd said something. I couldn't hear anything. I heard that.
Oh,
because
sorry.
either way, Yana's kicking the decapitated head of the goblin to this goblin that I shot at, and that's the last thing that I'm happy to do.
Well, if it's only 10 minutes, I can definitely stay. The only thing that I want to do is Dusk wants to loot everything, because she has no idea that the shopkeep is underneath the counter.
Elysian would continue to kill the goblins until there was only one left. Knowing that Dusk and Dawn want answers, he would leave one alive.
The KO'd one is still alive. We can keep him.
Yeah. And Yana would follow the now kicked decapitated head and pick it up and hold it in front of the other goblin and just taunt him with the decapitated head.
Okay.
So.
Oh my god. Just teabag it like a Halo player.
Man, I'm like, okay. Based upon that description, I'm not comfortable saying it's 10 minutes anymore. So based upon the need or want to loot everything mixed with killing the remaining goblins except for one, I would be comfortable to say this is going to take at least a half hour based upon what I have written for item distribution and stuff like that. So, and I also kind of want Keith to be here for this.
Yeah.
That's fair.
So I feel like it would be a more comfortable spot to end this, where Keith can still feel a little bit engaged in this encounter. And I can kind of rethink distribution of items here now, knowing what Dusk's motives are behind everything. That I think that this is a good stopping point.
Perfect.
Sounds
That's why
good.
she got so excited when
Yeah.
she found out they were stealing everything. She's like, "Oh, we can just steal everything."
I like the way you think.
Yeah. I feel like this is a very, very good opportunity for some healthy dialogue to happen on if there's anybody that would challenge said Dusk looting everything in a neutral store. I feel like there's a lot that could proceed from this encounter that I would like to use this as a really good way for you guys to kind of start figuring out everyone's alignment. I think this is a really healthy spot for you guys to have some really fun character development, and I don't want to rush it.
Yeah, I got some things to say.
Yeah, I'm excited. I have some stuff I'm going to kind of type on the side to each of you. So just kind of keep an eye on it. I will probably message you individually on Slack this coming week, where I'm going to kind of talk
Discord.
through a little bit of what Discord. I'm sorry. Yes, Discord. I'm going to kind of talk through a little bit of what was happening with your Sprin in this encounter as well, to kind of give you a little bit more flavor there. And then at some point, I would still like to have a one-on-one with each of you at some point to kind of delve into your backstory a little bit more so I can start shaping the more meaningful decisions that are coming. And we can kind of play around with that.
Sounds good.
Cool
Let me
beans,
do
yo.
a quick outro and then nobody leave just quite yet.
Before you do the outro,
Yeah.
I have no idea how long it takes to edit these episodes. I'm assuming it takes a while, but will it be out like on Christmas? Because we could all say like Happy Holidays in our character voices.
It will be. It'll be. Wait, no. It'll be out next Thursday, the 29th.
Okay.
I mean, that's
Just
close
kidding.
enough.
Well, you could still do Happy Holidays, though. I mean, Happy Holidays for
And the
the
new
next
year.
release would still work. Yeah, Happy New Year. That'd be fun.
Oh yeah. Okay. I don't know. I don't want to take over the podcast. It's your
No,
guys' thing.
no.
You guys can tell me
It's
to shut
all
up.
of ours. It's cool.
Yeah.
Hey, why don't you
Yes.
shut up? As Yana puts his hands around.
Yeah, and please know that while yes, this is something that like Clayton, Corbin, and I have been doing for a long period of time, we want you guys to feel equally invested in this. So like if there's any ideas you have like that, please speak up because we're always about like embodying whatever feels right for the group. And that seems like a really fun thing to do. So
In this holiday season, grab every fucking iPhone in the vicinity and leave a review for the podcast.
Yes.
Yeah, while you're all visiting your family or family visiting you, hey, you got an iPhone? Rate this podcast real quick.
yeah,
5
we're
stars.
getting really close. I say really close. We're getting very close to the being able to actually write reviews on Rotten Tomatoes. It's like that's our like next big thing where we could be official critics on Rotten Tomatoes now, and we just need reviews.
That's super exciting.
How many people listen to this podcast?
That's a good question. Let me pull it up real quick.
It's doing
I'm
fairly
actually
decent for.
I'm pretty happy with the listenership in the sense that like I don't know how to market it to new viewers outside of really asking our listenership from our other podcast. But for context, the Pickles and Taffy episode is now at 79 downloads, and that's with us doing nothing, to be
Cool.
honest.
Impressive.
Which is nice. And it's
Yeah, that's
continued to
good.
grow. It has more listens than the initial first episode, and the retention rate is over 70% of people who have finished the episode. So,
Ooh, that's awesome.
Wow, that's crazy.
so yeah, which is nice. Yeah, we don't know, even with the Nerdosphere, never really got the hang of, that one has a lot more listens than this one, but we kind of got lucky with that one.
Well, we've also been doing it for 4 years, so
That's true too.
What's your biggest listen time?
Or the Nerdosphere?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I'd have to look it up. We're in the top 2% of downloaded podcasts worldwide for that one.
Wow.
That's amazing.
our top
That's
episode has
incredible.
over 6,000 listens. We average about 20,000 listens a month.
That's
Wow.
super
On the
cool,
Nerdosphere.
guys.
But
Oh,
You guys should be
yeah.
super proud.
but so like our listenership is enough for the Rotten Tomatoes shtick, but they really focus on like Apple Podcasts reviews, and we're only like barely over 100 on reviews because no one has the time to leave a fucking review.
Yeah, but reviews for this one, Nerdy 20, will be super important to get it in front of people. And I think
Yeah,
just us sharing and kind of telling people about it will be the initial, like, how do we get that initial audience? I think it's going to be up to us all to just kind of tell people about it. So,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll start sharing it out more. I've shared it to a couple
definitely.
people, but
I've been obviously you guys have listened to it. I've been challenging my friends who would normally not listen to things D&D related, but if they like anything audiobook related, I'm like, just listen to like one episode and see what you think. And that's how I've been kind of drawing in some people who normally be like, well, that's not for me. Like, well, it probably is, because it's not just like you listening to us play D&D.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
more
For sure.
engaging.
yeah.
No, you did a really good job with the editing. It's very impressive.
Yeah,
Thank you.
it's fun. Fun to listen to.
Yeah, you all have awesome podcast voices.
Oh, thanks.
Thank you very much.
Let me end the stream real quick, and then we'll keep talking for just a second. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Nerdy 20. Remember, if you like what we do, scroll on down and give us a review. We really appreciate reviews and word of mouth shares. And if you really like what we do, go over to thenerdosphere.com to patreon.com/thenerdosphere, where you can learn how to support the show and earn exclusive perks while doing so. We'll see you in 2 weeks for another episode of Nerdy 20.